Good afternoon. I want to thank you all for being here. Today I'm joined by the Secretary of Health, Kim Malsom-Rysdom, and I want to start with a little bit of good news. We have a special woman here in Pierre named Alma, and today is her birthday. Today she is 108 years old. She has 3 children, 12 grandchildren, 26 great-grandchildren, and 16 great-great-grandchildren. And I think right now here in Pierre, people are holding a parade in her honor, and I think that Alma is an inspiration to everybody. To be 108 years old and still celebrating birthdays is really wonderful, and I just wanted to personally wish her a happy birthday from Brian and I and our family. We are all thinking of you and wish we could be a part of your parade right now. As businesses start back to normal, I'd like to ask the Secretary of Health, Kim Malsom-Rysdom, to come forward and give us an update on what the Department of Health is doing to work with these businesses on mitigation measures, and then what actions can be taken as well to take care of their employees while they're providing services to their customers. So with that, I'll turn it over to Kim.
Thank you, Governor. Supporting businesses was a key part of the criteria to Governor Noem's plan to get back to normal. And so we recognized early on that we wanted to support businesses in South Dakota. We want them to help keep their employees safe so that they can stay open. And so we've got a lot of resources available to help folks across the strait. This is definitely a collaborative effort. We've got a lot of agencies involved, and I want to thank them all for rolling up their sleeves and getting to work and working with us to support businesses across the state. So in addition to the Department of Health, we've got the Department of Agriculture, we've got the Department of Labor and Regulation, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, the Department of Public Safety, and the Department of Tourism. In addition, the South Dakota State University and Animal Industry Board have led our efforts to have teams available in 3 key areas to help businesses across the state. Those areas are food processing and animal industry, industry and business in general, and then food services, lodging, and campgrounds. The way we're organized is we have teams of people from different agencies available in these industry areas, available to consult with businesses, go through a checklist that we have that's based on CDC guidance, and evaluate kind of the practices of that business and identify ways that they can work to improve how they operate or work to improve the environment to help their employees stay safe from COVID. This can happen before there is a positive COVID case, or when we do identify a positive COVID case with an employer, we offer this as a service. We can do this over the phone or we can go on site. And I would tell you that businesses have been very open to this. They've worked with us very well. They've made changes as they can, and I think they're keeping their employees safe as a result. Often the kinds of changes that employers look to implement include providing PPE to their employees. They look at environmental changes. Can they make distancing happen for their folks that are working? Can they put reminders up so that customers make sure that they use social distancing? Can they have hand washing stations and hand sanitation stations available to both customers and their workforce? So common sense things that employers have been doing a great job with. Our business support teams help them identify other ways that they can maybe augment those things that they've been doing. The other thing that we're offering is help with testing for our critical infrastructure businesses where we've seen positive cases. And so that's certainly something that we offered first with our Smithfield employees, helping them establish a baseline so that people could feel safe going back to work. And it's also something that we'll be working with other employers as needed so that their employees can be safe, that they can have that baseline, and that they can go back to work knowing that that they will be COVID-free and continue to be safe there. So I can just really, again, give a kudos to our business community. People have stepped up. They are willing to do what they need to do to help play their part, and we're there to partner with them. And so want to continue to do that. And again, thank you to the partners. SDSU and the Animal Industry Board have been amazing, great to work with, and we appreciate that partnership so that we can continue to support businesses. We expect to have to do this for some time, and we're going to see places that will see a number of cases, and we're ready to to partner and go in there and do what we can to minimize the spread of COVID in business situations and keep those employees safe. So thank you, Governor, for your support of this part of our response. This has been really key to us working on a lot of different things that help people across our state.
And we are grateful to those partners that are helping us facilitate that kind of a response. We did announce that we were doing mass testing this week at many of our nursing home facilities and other infrastructure and businesses. We got a note earlier today from Lauren at Jenkins in Watertown. And I think they're the first facility to complete their mass testing already. They tested over 270 employees, over 125 residents there, and they were just really encouraged by how quickly they could get that done and are awaiting results, and the teamwork that we saw was inspirational. So thank you to Lauren and his team for all their hard work in making sure that that got accomplished, and we know this will be happening in many other facilities across the state. The last thing that I wanted to touch on today is a brief update on the situation with the tribal checkpoints. Despite weeks of attempts to start a conversation and to find a solution between me, Secretary Flute, and many others to resolve this matter informally, finding a solution that would respect tribal sovereignty, also state sovereignty and federal law, the tribes have continued to maintain these checkpoints on U.S. and state highways. So as you all remember, on May 8th, I sent a letter to the tribes, to Cheyenne River and to the Oglala Sioux, talking and asking and telling them to remove these checkpoints to be in compliance with the law. Following the refusal of Cheyenne River to remove those checkpoints, I asked the South Dakota Attorney General to order an investigation into these checkpoints. And that investigation, while it's still ongoing, has produced both affidavits and video recordings of these unlawful checkpoints that are in place. Today, I provided all of that material to the White House, to the Department of Justice, the Department of Interior, the congressional delegation, Senator Thune, Senator Rounds, Congressman Johnson, asking for their assistance in resolving this situation. In addition to all the conversations that we've had already, I put forward a suggested compromise about a week ago on May 14th. And I continue to work in good faith to help the tribes protect their people as well as comply with law and to be good partners with the state of South Dakota. I know that there are questions out there about respecting sovereignty. So I invite everybody to go to covid.sd.gov to review all the easements that are in place granting us the right to put these roads where they are. These are easements that the tribe did agree to. And the legal documentation is there showing that these checkpoints cannot lawfully be on U.S. and state highways. All of these letters can be found on covid.sd.gov, and I want to reiterate, the state is committed to slowing down the spread of COVID-19 in our state and committed to helping to protect the public health of our tribes and every single citizen in the state of South Dakota. We will continue to focus on science, facts, and data and make sure that we're working together with everyone here in this state to protect our citizens. So with that, I will open it up to any questions that you may have. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Let us know if you have any follow-up questions, and we'll get back to
Governor?
you. Thank you. Yes?
Governor, I'm sorry. Jeff Bannon, Associated Press, Minneapolis. Well, we got you here. So thanks for taking my question here. What do you expect the White House, DOJ, Interior, South Dakota's congressional delegation to do? That with you've provided this information to them. Do you expect them to somehow intervene and to side with you in this legal struggle here with the tribes?
Well, this isn't taking sides. This is just simply upholding the law. And the Department of Justice has jurisdiction here. We're asking them to do their jobs and also asking for the help and partnership of the White House and our congressional delegation to encourage them to do so.
Does that mean forcing the tribes to, I'm sorry, but does this mean follow-up, forcing the tribes to give up their checkpoints as you've demanded?
Well, on May 14th, I sent them a plan for how they could still have checkpoints, how they could facilitate those on their BIA roads, which they do have jurisdiction over, and still run those operations there. But to remove them from the state and federal highways to ensure that we do have adequate traffic going through that area and making sure that we could get essential services to people that would need it on these reservations. So that compromise can be found on covid.sd.gov as well. It's a May 14th letter that we encouraged these tribes to consider that would still allow them to run checkpoints if they chose to do so. Okay.
Thank you, Heather.
Yes, you bet. Thank you. Have a good day.